Hello, this is Short Me Tina from shortmetina.com doing a video recap of ticker symbol ITCI. Well, I'm not quite sure if I'm doing a video recap of this particular stock, more so that I'm giving you sort of a rundown as to what happened to me in this trade. And I guess the takeaway of the video for me is to always remain in control when you're in a trade or when you're trading. And sometimes it's really okay to walk away from a trade. And that's exactly what I did today when I realized a particular move in the early hours threw me off my game. And I had to, battle a lot of those emotions traders typically talk about. And the final outcome was essentially, you know what? My head is not in this. While I do believe I know that the direction of this stock will be down, and if I just hang in there, I'll make back my profits, quote unquote revenge trading. But being that I wasn't necessarily, in my opinion, in control, and like all these other thoughts were going into my head, I wasn't as cool as I typically am in a trade. I decided to close the trade out, and I decided to not trade for the remainder of the day. And it's actually something that I was perfectly fine and okay with. So you ask what happened to me today. Well, this stock came on my radar yesterday. It was trending on StockTwits, I believe. And I saw that it shaved off something like 60% in after hours trading yesterday because of some either poor earnings or a failed stage 3 clinical trial, something to that extent. I'm not too sure what caused the drop, but it was disappointing to investors because they knocked the stock completely down. So I said to myself, well, I see a short opportunity going into today. And when I woke up this morning, I was watching pre-market trading activity. I was watching time and sales. I had the levels mapped out. I had my trade plan. I knew how many shares I was going to buy. I knew the price target in which I wanted to buy them at. And to an extent, I also knew where I wanted to cover. So the trade was executed flawlessly, believe it or not. Bell opened at 9:30. And if you look at this candle here, the high of that first 5 minutes was 15.79. And I actually got my short right around there. I got my short like around 15.70 something, like very close to 15.79. It's like maybe 15.73, 74, something like that. And a minute later, the stock was trading at around 14, it was going down. I went from 1570 to 1560, 55, 45, 35, 20. Then it dipped into the 14s, and the low was 1488. And I actually wanted to close out around that area because I made what I thought was a decent profit. It was a couple of $100. I thought I made a decent profit for the first 2 minutes of trading, and I was going to walk away from this stock because I didn't think that there was more downside. So as opposed to just closing my trade out, I actually, extended my hand to the right, grabbed my bottle of water to take a drink because I usually like to keep, I like to drink throughout the day. It replenishes me. It makes me feel, for me, it's just good. It's just good for my body. I don't drink soda, coffee, or anything like that. I think water is sort of like the best sort of nutrient for me when I'm trading. So I extended my hand to the right to get my bottle of water, and what happened? The trade went against me. It didn't go against me. I started to lose profits. I saw my profits dwindling away. So then, as you can see on the next 5-minute candle here, the low was 15.15. So I'm still in the profit because I shorted at 15.70, but the profits were less. And I said to myself, well, you know what? I'm not going to close out my trade here. We can call that greed. I said I'll wait for it to get back to the $14, and I'll close around there. So I waited. Let's look what happened in the next 5-minute candle, right? We opened up at 15.31. So now we're putting in higher lows, right? And then it shot up to 16. So now, am I not only those couple of $100 that I initially saw in the first 5 minutes. Now I'm actually in the negative with this high of $16 because, again, my short was in the 1570 area. So now I wouldn't say pissed. Such a quick move. I don't know what's going on, right? Couple of things. I said to myself, actually, I should not even have been in the trade at 16 because I said to myself that my stop was around 1580 something, 10 cents above my entry. Here I found myself, stock is trading at $16. I didn't honor my stop. Mistake number one, right? I didn't close it out around here. Potentially mistake number two. I got a little bit greedy. And just those sort of like emotions that I was going through at the time, again, placed me off of my game, threw me off of my game, and I said to myself, okay, what to do now? So in this particular 5-minute period around 9:40, 9:45, I'm like how does the expression go? A deer in headlights? I had my plan, and I don't know what the hell happened. And as I'm thinking to myself, okay, what to do? Should I take the loss? Should I wait for it to get back to 1480 something? What to do? I remained in the trade, and then I saw it do this. It's going down again, right? Low 1542, low 1524. You're saying to yourself, well, yeah, why didn't you get out the trade there? Well, because now it's going in my direction, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this was just a fluke here, and it's going to get back into 14. So it got 1530, and then look what happens here. Shoots up again. We're at 1585, back in the red. And I think I took a loss on it. I did. I think I got out around my initial stop, around 1580 something. No. Actually, I'm lying. I got out around $16. So I lost about 25 cents or so per share. So I got out around 10, and why did I take the loss? I took the loss because at that point, I felt that I was completely thrown off my game. I wasn't in control. Whatever plan I thought I had, I don't know why I wasn't following the script. And so I said to myself, you know what? Close a trade. And this is not the only. I was actually in two trades. I was in this one, and I was in Nike, Nike. And that trade was actually working well for me. But I didn't hold it to completely capitalize on the move that I wanted. And had I have stayed in that trade for the remainder of the day, obviously I was going to get what I was looking for. But the fact that this ITCI trade just kind of threw me off my game, I decided to close out the two trades that I entered, ITCI and NKE. And I had other trades that I wanted to open up, but again, was off my game. And I didn't feel as though I was in control of my situation today. So I said to myself, you know what? Just close all your trades. Get your head together. And tomorrow is another day. And while I took a little bit of a loss on this trade, I'm actually perfectly fine with my decision because it gave me the ability to think clearly, right? So after I closed my trade, you would think that would be the end of it. And I said to myself, no. So I'm watching this trade again. It shoots up. And then obviously now that I'm out the trade, I can see the trade relatively clearly. So I see this move coming. So I said to myself, well, why don't you reshort around here? I'm actually going to get in at a better price, right? The high is 1611, whereas before I got in around 1575 or 1572, something like that. But then I said to myself, no, that is what we call revenge trading. And while you're not in the trade, because I closed my previous trade, it didn't make any sense for me to get in this trade. So I say all this gibberish and this long, drawn-out vagina monologue, to say, you know what? It's okay to get out of a trade if you don't feel as though you're in control. It is okay to take that loss if you don't feel like you're in control. Revenge trading, as they call it on the streets, it's not a way to trade. And so tomorrow, this is ITCI is definitely on my watch list. I'm actually very happy that it closed at 1542. And I'm going to get my trade tomorrow. So obviously I'm going to do a video recap in the morning. I'm not going to release it until probably midday, until I'm out to trade, or until the ending of the trading day tomorrow. Win or lose or draw. Even if the stock goes against me again, I'll do a little pre-market recap, and then I'll enter the trade tomorrow, providing that my setup presents itself. But I just kind of wanted to show folks how quickly you can get thrown off your game, how quickly you can go from being in a profitable trade to being in an unprofitable trade. And what do you do when that happens, right? Because it wasn't a scenario where I was in profit and I was waiting for more. It was a scenario or a situation where I was in profit and it hit my target. I was ready to close out this trade and it went completely against me. And I'm not sure, believe it or not, in the 10 or so years I've traded, I'm not sure that's ever happened to me. So there's times where a trade doesn't go my way, but I've never been in a situation, I don't think, and I'll think back after this video, where I've been in a trade, I'm ready to close out the trade, and then it goes completely against me, to the point where I went from ready to take profits or just close the trade altogether to now being in the red. What do you do? So just, another sort of lesson in all this is you have to plan for everything. And in that situation, I don't think I planned for that, going from profitable to unprofitable. I did say where my stop was going to be, but I didn't honor that once it moved against me in like literally a minute. So anyway, this is ShortMeTina, ShortMeTina.com. I just wanted to do this video. I'm doing it very late in the day, right? It's 5:35. The markets have been closed for about an hour and a half. And I should have probably done it after I'd closed the trade, but there probably would have been a lot more cursing and a whole range of emotions had I have done it right after. So ITCI kind of messed with me a little bit today. Waiting for it tomorrow. Not revenge trading, but I see it's setting up. It's setting up for me. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. So it allowed me, because this trade didn't go as well as I wanted it to, or because it knocked me off my game, I actually had to close my other trade, and I didn't get into some other trades that I wanted to get into. But that's okay. Because for me, when you trade the markets, and I'm going to get off pretty soon because I feel like I'm, rehashing the same point. You just need to always be in control. You really do always need to be in control. And if there's ever a point where you feel like, you know what, I feel off my game, it's okay to not trade. The markets are going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so on and so forth. The market is always there. I've been trading for, again, well over a decade. The market is always there. So ITCI, I can't wait for tomorrow. I cannot wait for tomorrow because right now I'm back in my senses and I'm ready to trade. ShortMeTina, ShortMeTina.com. Go to my website, sign up to my free newsletter, subscribe to my Twitter channel, follow me on Twitter, StockTwits, Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And I love this. I love trading. I love doing this. Like, seriously. This is in my blood. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.